Okay, so Laura's going to come back here and she's going to show us how to hip hinge, and then we're going to break it down. So feet underneath the hips, okay, nice and tall, shoulders back, ribs together, chest up. Send your hips back, hinging at the hips, bending the knees slightly, keep going back, keep going back. Perfect. She's going to go back as far as she can before her back starts to round. Okay, so we don't want that rounding in the back before her knees start to bend too much, so we don't want those knees bent. So bring the hips back up, good. So at the bottom of the hinge, she's got a triangle from shoulder, hip, knee. As she comes up out of that hinge, she's going to push the floor away and everything is going to come together. Okay? So it's going to be knees, hip, and shoulders coming into extension at the same time. She's not pulling her back up. Okay? So we're going to break it down. The first thing we're going to do, put her on the floor, on her knees. Okay? So she's going to get nice and tall in this position. I want you to punch your hips forward, almost to the point of falling over. Now you're going to bring the shoulders on top of that. You don't want to arch the back. Big exhales, bring the ribs together. As you exhale, you don't want to let that lower back sink, all right? You don't want to arch the back. You want to stay tall. Keep the shoulders up, chest up. Now bring the elbows up in front, okay? Imagine the elbows are staying on a shelf. Now you're going to go back, hinging at the hips. I want you to imagine that you've got an egg right here. Don't squish the egg. Send those hips back. Perfect. Again, triangle, shoulder, hip, knee. Squeeze those glutes, push forward, up you come. Good. When she comes up to her highest point, she doesn't dump into the lower back. Okay? So once her head hits that highest point, it stays there. Core staying strong. Squeeze those glutes, push forward. Give me 5 more. Good. Remember that egg? You don't want to shift your weight back towards the heels. Good. Really squeezing the glutes at the top. Keep that shelf up. Good. Squeeze. Release the tailbone, send it back away from you. Keep the length from the back of the head all the way to the tailbone. Squeeze. Bingo. That's it. Last one. Get that S, get the breathing. Okay? Set the ribs with the breathing. Exhale with the effort as we come up. Okay? Now, Laura's going to come to her feet. And we're going to try and do the same thing. We already know Laura can hinge, but as we're learning this for the first time, work from the knees up. So take 2 of the joints out of it. Take the ankles and the knees out of the position, and now try and do this with those 2 joints back in play. Okay? So now we're making sure to keep the hamstrings doing the work, not the quads. We don't want those knees to shift forward, heels coming off the floor, back rounding. So shift the butt back, send the tailbone back, keep the elbows up on that shelf. Good, keeping that length. Stay a little higher, remember our triangle. Now we're pushing the floor away. Really important to think about pushing the floor. Keep going. Rather than pulling with the back. So imagine you're doing a leg press in the leg press machine. Just push that floor weight to come up, squeeze, don't dump it into the lower back. So once your head hits that highest point, keep it at the highest point. And push, good. Don't arch that back, stay tall, ribs together. Don't want to bend those knees too much, so we don't want to turn it into a squat. Remember that egg that we were keeping here? Good, really feeling the hamstrings and the glutes. Push. That's it. Give me 1 more. Hips high. Drive. Good. So the main things you're looking for with the hinge, using the back of the body, not letting the quads do all the work, not letting the shoulders round forward. So you're going to keep those shoulders back, keep the hips high, use the hamstrings, use the glutes. Keep the back as long as we can. Try not to let yourself round over. As we're coming up out of this position, push the floor away. Don't pull with your back. Push and up and stay tall. Don't dump that weight into the lower back. And that's your hinge.